Leon's back. That one sentence alone was enough to send half the Resident Evil fanbase into full nostalgia mode. Pre-orders flying, hype videos everywhere, and suddenly Resident Evil 9 was being crowned a masterpiece before anyone had even touched a controller. So after finishing the game, here's the real question. Is Resident Evil 9 actually great? Or is Capcom just very good at selling us memories we already loved? Let's talk about it. Resident Evil 9 is basically two different Resident Evil games stitched together. One side is slow, tense, survival horror. The other side is action hero Leon mowing through monsters like he's back in Resident Evil 4, and yes, it works. But it also exposes one of the biggest problems with the game, because while the mechanics are solid, the identity feels confused. Playing as Grace is where Resident Evil 9 actually feels like Resident Evil. Limited ammo, tiny inventory, enemies you are better off avoiding. You're sneaking past monsters, planning routes, deciding what to craft, and constantly worrying you've wasted one bullet too many. But that's classic survival horror. And honestly, these sections are the best part of the game. They create tension, they make exploration meaningful, they make every zombie feel dangerous. This is Resident Evil we've been asking for. Then Leon shows up, and suddenly the horror becomes an action movie. More guns, more ammo, more combat. You're parrying attacks, doing melee finishes, tossing weapons, blasting through enemies you were terrified of 10 minutes ago. It's fun, but here's the issue. We've already played this game. It's Resident Evil 4 with new paint. So while Leon's sections feel great mechanically, they don't feel new. They feel like Capcom saying, remember why you loved us? Switching between Grace and Leon keeps things fresh, but also kills momentum. You finally get immersed in survival horror tension. Then Leo shows up like it's an action hero DLC and all the fears disappear. Then you switch back and it takes time to build that tension again. It's not a bad design, it's just uneven. Like watching a horror movie that keeps cutting to Fast and Furious scenes. One thing Resident Evil 9 actually does brilliantly is enemy behaviour. Some zombies react to light, some react to sound, some try to clean bodies or follow routines. It makes levels feel alive, and it forces you to think instead of just shooting everything. That's real survival horror design, and Capcom deserves credit for that. The game uses open-end sandbox areas where you collect key items to progress. Classic Resident Evil structure. It's polished, clever, and satisfying to explore, but again, it's safe. There's nothing here that reinvents the series. Capcom isn't taking risks, they're refining formulas, which is fine, but don't call it revolutionary. Controls are tight, combat feels good, you can switch between first person and third person. Technically this game is solid. Capcom knows how to make a good playing game. But great mechanics don't automatically mean a great experience because Resident Evil 9 leans heavily on the past. Old characters, old reference, old trauma arcs. Leon's return is handled respectfully, but it's mostly fanservice. Villains are forgettable, some story beats feel rushed. Resident Evil 8 has stronger antagonists, honestly. So while the fans enjoy the callbacks, the narrative isn't doing anything bold. The campaign is around 14 to 15 hours. There's a new game plus and unlockables, but if you're a one and done player, you might feel a bit shortchanged at full price. It's a tight experience, just not a huge one. Resident Evil 9 is a great game, but here's the honest truth. It's not groundbreaking, it leans heavily on nostalgia, it plays things very safe. Capcom didn't reinvent Resident Evil. They blended Resident Evil 7's tension with Resident Evil's 4 action and polished it, and that's fine, but let's stop pretending every returning character equals a masterpiece. If you are a Resident Evil fan, you'll probably enjoy it. If you're wanting something bold, new and risky, this may feel like deja vu. Resident Evil 9 is like a reheated pizza from your favourite place, still tasty, still comforting, but you know exactly what you're getting, and sometimes that's the real reason this hype exists. For this game, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. So what did you think about Resident Evil 9? A masterpiece or a safe sequel? Let's talk in the comments. No shills, no ragebait, just honest opinions. Welcome to Based and Geeked.